If you walked into my office as a first-time home buyer, or any home buyer for that matter, and asked me, how do I buy a home in this market, this is what I'd tell you. By the end of this video, you'll learn two things. Number one, what to do and how to compete to buy a home, and number two, should you buy a home even if you qualify. As a bonus, at the end of this video, I've included a killer pro tip on how to find homes with much less competition. I'd start out this way. Are you clear on why you want to make a move? Do you have a growing family? Do you need a dedicated space because you're working remotely more frequently? Maybe you just want a bigger backyard so you can have barbecues and play with the kids. Maybe it's just time to stop renting. All of those are good reasons, but I'm asking this question because if you have a strong enough why, you'll make it happen. The next thing I'd ask you, is your job stable? Is your place of employment, after everything we've been through, still solid? If so, that's great. Do you feel like it's growing and you feel confident about it? Good. The other thing is, do you like what you do? Do you like going to work every day? You probably don't want to buy a house and then change jobs too quickly. So if you like what you do, that's a major plus. The next question I'd ask you is, how solid is your relationship? This sounds crazy personal, but buying a home is stressful, and if there's any weak spots, buying a home and the stress will reveal cracks. Do you support one another? Do you have the same goals, same reasons for getting a house? What I've learned is, if anybody's thinking about buying a home to improve a relationship, that doesn't work. And finally, it's real easy for two people to go in and buy a home, but if things go bad, to get to dissolve that is really, really hard. Now, are you financially ready? The job's going good, you're saving a little bit of money, you're able to go out and eat from time to time, you're meeting the rent very easily, and you've got an account set up just for buying a house. You've learned what down payment, closing costs, and all those additional expenses on moving a house is, and you've built up that nest egg to cover that. You're in good shape then. Now you want to get a lender. Word of caution, don't fall in love with the first one that says, yes, I'll give you money. You want to shop around. Get referrals from some of your friends that have had good experience with their lenders. You can save thousands of dollars by going with different lenders. Don't be afraid to look around. And the other thing is, tell the truth to your lender. Even if it's embarrassing, but you really don't want to tell them anyway. They need to know exactly where you stand, because you know what? They're going to find out in the end. Now you're going to have to decide on how much you can afford. You've spoken to your lender and you're crystal clear on what that number is. Let me give you a tip. When you're looking for homes, look for properties that are 10 to 20% less than what you can afford. Chances are pretty good you might have to bid over list to get the house, and with that buffer built in, you're still safe. But here's a word of caution. Don't get caught up in the multiple offer passion. Don't end up way overpaying for a house and overshooting the mark. You don't want to do that. Now you have to decide where. And the rules have changed on that somewhat. With remote working, a lot of times where people had to live close to town to get to work, now they can work from their home office, and that changes the rules. You can sometimes find a property that's a little further away from town at a heck of a deal. But also, if you have school requirements, different close to shopping, things like that, take that all into account. But just pick a spot, draw a circle, and stick with that. Now the question is, do you have your exit plan in place? If you rent a house or if you rent an apartment, do the people that need to know that you're getting ready to make a move? That's always good to have that prepared, because you don't want to end up having to pay rent and mortgage at the same time. That's just an unnecessary expense. Exit plan. Now the final question is, should you buy a house? I've given you so much to think about, and you've probably gotten overwhelmed, but nobody's saying you have to have everything lined up perfectly in order to buy a house. But there's so much more to buying a house than qualifying for a loan and signing the documentation. And in the meantime, I've given you some good things to think about. Here's that killer pro tip idea. You ready? When you're searching for houses, search for homes that are 7 days plus on the market. They haven't been snapped up already. But if you like a home with 7 days plus, your chance of being able to negotiate goes way up. Plus, you're going to pretty much minimize, if not eliminate, the multiple offer pressure to make a decision instantly. Killer pro tip idea, search for homes 7 days plus. If you like this video, my name is Andy Elliott. Subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you don't miss anything. I'm bringing you real estate in real life. Talk to you soon.